Hey folks, this is Daniel Pinchbeck. I'm here for New York Native with Mayor Kittay, who is, what are you?
Social alchemist for Burning Man.
Wow, social alchemist for Burning Man. So you're working with both the non-profit and for-profit sides of it, or how does it all work?
With the Burning Man project, which is ultimately what is, absorbing BlackRock City LLC that manages the Burning Man event.
Wow, and why are they making such a big change?
Well, fundamentally, the for-profit model worked as an event production company. Mm-hmm. But when you think about Burning Man and what it is in the world and how to ensure that it lives on in the right way philosophically, it really can only be housed in a nonprofit in the public interest.
Well, and for those people, those few people who still don't know, how would you define Burning Man? What is it in your perspective?
Well, Burning Man really is a cultural or philosophical movement, but it has evolved from an event in the desert, whereby a city of almost 70,000 people now has been built for the last 27 years, that city provides a context for the emergence of a new type of culture based on creative economies, and that is very much turned into a global movement, and we're essentially the point of trying to shepherd and understand how to facilitate the expansion of this movement of Burning Man.
Do you have to wear crazy, funny, furry hats that look like you're from Sesame Street in order to be part of this culture?
Absolutely not. You can be whoever you want to be, but one of the 10 principles of Burning Man is something we call radical self-expression. And that is that we are encouraged to sort of express ourselves however we may want to do that. And so bringing that, whether that's in an event environment or whether that's walking around the streets of New York City.
10 principles. Why would you have these principles? I thought it was anarchy and freedom.
Larry Harvey, who's the founder of Burning Man, he actually went to Mazatlan, Mexico, and sort of a retreat, and based on an email thread that had been going on our regional network for Burning Man, people had been asking for some sort of staples of how to sort of articulate what Burning Man culture is in a way that could really be translated into different languages and sort of guide and shepherd a larger framework without being any sort of dogma. So the 10 principles were really, they emerged from the community and what was going on in the culture.
So you're saying that anarchy actually has a lot of rules?
Well, I think when we explore these philosophical questions of self-governance and community, we can see that there's a full spectrum of what we could call anarchy or self-organizing community, and I think exploring the full diaspora of that is really part of what's so unique about Burning Man culture.
Should people be allowed to yell fire in a crowded theater?
Well, I think it's all about the context, right? And less about a sort of moralistic, empirical, yes or no, if that type of thing should happen. More, what is the framework that we as a society use to evaluate our sort of moral decisions?
And what's the future of Burning Man?
Well, it's in our hands. The Burning Man event in the desert was, 6 founders really to help steward the organization that ultimately provides the civic infrastructure for Burning Man. And now all 6 of them are gifting their equity, their ownership of the Burning Man intellectual property into this brand new nonprofit. So although it only took a handful of really committed staff members to help the Burning Man event happen every year, in order to bring Burning Man culture to the world, it's going to take all of us. And so the future of Burning Man really is something that I think is fundamentally in our hands. And I think it's increasingly a global phenomenon, a global movement. Burning Man is in over 220 places in the world, 27 plus countries. We have events just like Burning Man. Africa Burn now is almost 10,000 people. We're starting to see the replication of this context, and through that, a whole movement.
So then are you the Messiah who's been appointed by God to bring Burning Man into the Promised Land?
Fuck no. I'm the crazy bear hat wearing evangelical, ridiculous prankster, trickster who just believes that this is pretty freaking cool. Burning Man's gonna change. It's changed every year, and part of that change is some people are going to feel like, it's lost its essence. Others are going to feel like it's going to a place that is better. And, I think fundamentally Burning Man's role is to help set a context and create an experience really just as a platform, almost like a permaculture framework, if you will, for culture itself.
What do you think happens after we die?
Well, I think that's a great question. I'm really happy to bring that up because that's what we should all be thinking about. I really believe that we are here as some sort of augmentation, some sort of part of this greater oneness that is all things. And whether we are an antenna or whether, receiving information and or are making a choice, it's sort of, we're all here playing out some sort of function in this greater system. So when we die, I believe there's probably some sort of re-entry into that oneness and possibly a re-exiting from it. But ultimately, we are all, one giant consciousness.
Well, Bear, thank you so much for joining
Daniel.
us today for
Always a
NewYorkNative.
pleasure.
It was a good conversation, and we look forward to more.
Yeah.